What if Naruto was adopted by John Winchester Part 4? Also, it's just supernatural nightmare. A car slowly rides down an empty road late at night, pulling into a garage attached to, we're guessing, his house. As the man reaches into the back seat to grab his bag, or suitcase that he used for work, his expression changed to one of confusion as the garage door started to close itself without anyone pulling it down or any button being pressed. The man thought the motor on the door was just a bit faulty and he'll have it looked at tomorrow. But as he was thinking this, all the doors in the car locked, too tight to open, again without any prompting to do so. The key that was still in the ignition then suddenly turned on its own, with the engine roaring to life. As the fumes filled the room, the panic finally set in on the man's face, as he started coughing and screaming for help. He desperately tried to open the doors, roll the windows down, even tried breaking them, but it was all useless. He couldn't get out, and no one could hear him. The fumes then entered his lungs, suffocating him, and with one last cry, he lay there, lifeless. Sam then woke up from his dream, sweating, and was about to wake up his brothers, but to his surprise, Naruto was already awake, shaking Dean awake, telling him that Sam had another vision, and they need to go right now. Sam was confused and asked Naruto how he knew, with Naruto explaining that since he now knows the magic pulses come from whenever Sam has his visions, he thought it best that he should eavesdrop, for lack of a better word. Sam started to tell Naruto to stay out of his head, but a groggy Dean chimed in that two people having a clear image is better than one person with him explaining it to the other two. Sam ponders on it a little bit and decides that they're right, but he tells Naruto not to eavesdrop on anything else. Naruto agrees, while making a little joke about clowns and midgets. Sam sat bolt upright, looking a little scared, while Dean just smirked. Sam got out of bed and was about to start packing his clothes and weapons to find that Naruto had already done it. Dean's stuff too. Naruto says that it's kind of like channel surfing. Even though he's watching, in his own mind, it doesn't mean he can't do other things in the meantime. They all head outside and get into the Impala, heading towards Michigan, just going off the license plate. In this version, Dean doesn't try to rationalise it to Sam, that maybe it was just a dream, as it was confirmed by Naruto, actually being able to tell whether it was a vision or if it was just a dream. Sam was on the phone, posing as a police officer, calling the police department and tried to track down the car. They find out the car is registered to a man named Jim Miller, who lives in Saginaw, Michigan. I don't know why I pronounce it like that, Saginaw. After getting the address, Dean puts his foot down, hoping to get there faster just in case it was to happen tonight. But in the back seat, Naruto had a strange sense of foreboding. The pulses that come from Sam during one of his visions were also coming from another source, coming from the direction they were heading. He doesn't say anything yet, as it may be nothing to worry about, but he does keep it in mind. They get to the Miller's house in only 2 hours, but see that the police and the paramedics were already there, pulling a man out of the garage and placing him into a body bag. The brothers walk over to the nosy neighbours and ask what happened, with a woman telling the boys that he had committed suicide, and also adding that it only happened like an hour ago. Sam walked away clearly distressed, with Dean and Naruto following after him. but Naruto caught a glimpse at the family on the porch. He could see two people who were undeniably upset, but one young man who looked indifferent to all of it, almost completely devoid of emotion. They make their way over to Sam, and Sam asks, why would I have these premonitions if I'm not able to save him? With Dean and Naruto not having an answer. But Dean then makes Sam aware that because of his visions, they are there now. So whatever did it, they will make it pay. Naruto agrees and they find a motel to stay in for the duration of their case. The next morning, the boys wake up and Sam and Dean dress up as priests to go and see the family on the day of the wake. Dean asks Naruto if he wanted to go along with them. It would be better if they were all together. They could cover more ground that way. Naruto declines, saying that he'll stay behind and do a bit of research in the meantime. I mean, 3 priests turning up to someone's house is a bit suspicious. And with a bit of a light-hearted chuckle, he says, besides, you both look like one step away from being Chippendale dancers. Dean gets a bit embarrassed as he sees himself in the mirror and knows exactly what he means. If they cut the arms off, they would literally look like strippers. As Sam and Dean leave, Naruto pulls out his weapons to clean them, which for him is probably like 2 guns and a hell of a lot of knives. He also pulls out their father's journal and his own, trying to see if he can cross-reference anything to link the case to his newly developed theory. But he doesn't find anything of use. So after cleaning his weapons, he sits cross-legged on the floor, his hands in front of him forming a circle as he begins to meditate. If he can't find anything out, he may as well try and deepen his own understanding of his own powers. When his brothers come back, Naruto doesn't move or even say hello, almost as if no one had entered the room at all. Dean calls for his attention, but again he doesn't budge. Dean reaches down to shake him awake, because he assumes that he is asleep. But the moment Dean lays his hands on Naruto's shoulder, his eyes fly open, the colour not being his, but the light red that came from his magic whenever he became angry. Before Dean could even process, one of the knives that Naruto had been cleaning flew from the bed and was now hovering over Naruto's shoulder, aimed directly at Dean. Naruto's eyes were locked onto Dean in suspension. Dean and Sam look into each other, seconds pass, before Naruto realised who they were and let go of that magic. The knife dropped to the floor, and Naruto profusely apologised to Dean, but Dean was just asking what the hell he was doing. Naruto explained that to get a better handle of his magic, he first needs to better handle his emotions, and as it is now, it seems he needs a lot of work. Dean and Sam get dressed back into their normal clothes, so a lot of flannel, and start talking about what they discovered while at the house, which was absolutely nothing. No cold spots, no EMF, no sulphur, and no suspicious deaths on or around the property. As they were talking, however, Sam seemed to trail off and started having the most intense headache of his life, while Naruto was also holding his own head in pain, as the pulses that normally came from Sam were a lot stronger as he was awake. They both tell Dean that they saw and what they saw, and that Roger Miller was going to be the next to die. They head to Roger's apartment and thankfully catch him outside. Catch me outside, how about that? Telling him that the thing that killed his brother is now after him, and if he goes up to his room without listening to them, he's going to die. Roger quickly gets inside, telling the brothers that they were crazy, and if they come near him or his family ever again, he'd ring the police, priests or not. Without much choice, they all run around the back of the building to the fire escape, hoping to get to the apartment before he gets to the window. But halfway up, they hear the sound of the window slam, and Roger's head fell past them into the bushes below. Sam rushes to the top as fast as he can, hoping to catch whatever caused it, but Dean stayed back as he could hear and feel Naruto scream in pain, grabbing his head as he kept saying the word pulses over and over again. He then looked up at Dean, and Dean was truly scared. For once, as he seen Naruto, his eyes had become blood red, as well as his face becoming more feral and aggressive. He even started to look like he developed whiskers. Dean tried to calm him down, but Naruto, while enraged, pulled out one of his small blades. And while Dean thought he was going to attack, Naruto quickly spun around and threw his knife to the top of one of the buildings, where you could see a small silhouette of a person fall, then stand up holding onto their shoulder as the knife had presumably hit its mark, coming back to Naruto like a boomerang, now covered in blood. Again, Dean tries to calm his brother down, and with great effort, Naruto suppresses this rage-fueled power, almost rendering him completely unconscious. Dean hesitantly grabs Naruto and helps him stand by putting him over his shoulder and makes his way up to Sam, handing him a rag, telling him to get rid of the fingerprints. They can't afford to be connected to this. To which Sam agrees, while Dean gets Naruto into the car to get some rest. After only a couple of minutes, Naruto passes out. He wakes up the next morning still a bit shaky due to his strength not fully returning, and sees Sam and Dean talking about who it could be, and they hear Naruto quietly speak, saying it was Matt Miller. Dean asks how he can be so sure, and Naruto tells him that the pulses started before we got to the house. Only Roger, Alice and Matt were there, but only Matt looked like he was indifferent, almost like he knew what happened. Naruto holds up his blood-covered knife and says besides, whoever it was has a pretty deep cut on them, so they'll be easy to find. They all decide to go back to the house, and Naruto explains that he thinks Matt is like Sam, abilities wise anyway. When used, he can feel the similar energy coming from him. Sam decides to go in first, but Naruto shakes his head, saying he can feel them right now. They all get out of the car, and Sam knocks on the front door, while Dean and Naruto go round the back, seeing Matt Miller hovering a knife in front of his mother. I can't remember, is it mother or stepmother? Mother. Sam knocks on the door, which got the attention of the Millers, causing Matt to put the knife down and answer the door. While Sam was keeping him busy, saying that, he was saying he was a priest, so maybe he could offer some counsel, a bit of mourning. While he was keeping him busy anyway, Naruto slowly and carefully climbs through the window, grabbing Alice and slowly taking her towards the back door. When they get just 2 feet from it, that knife flies past Naruto's head and sticks into the wall, and they stop, with Alice turning around to beg her son to let her go. Matt tells Naruto to turn around, but knowing that Matt will lose his shit after seeing his face, doesn't, and says that his mum needs to leave, which means she's innocent after all. Matt starts screaming that she's not innocent. She stood there as I was getting beaten and didn't do a damn thing about it. She's as guilty as the other two. She's not going anywhere. The knife gets pulled back out of the wall, ready for Matt to kill his mother. But as the knife was again thrown, Naruto turned around, showing his face to Matt, and seeing that Sam was incredibly angry. He shouted and he psychically pulled the knife towards Matt, killing him on impact. Dean, who was still on the other side of the window with his gun, stood in shock, seeing this, and Sam dropped to the ground, wondering what was happening to him. Naruto, who was seeing this scene and knew how Sam would have felt about it, quickly made his way over to him, and without anyone noticing, apart from Dean, changed his memory ever so slightly, so that he now believes that Naruto flung the knife at Matt, not him. Sam now believes that he pushed the knife away from Naruto and Alice, and Naruto flung it back. After all, Naruto can't let Sam have this guilt on his mind, not after what's already happened the past few months. When it was all over, they head back to the motel room. No one said a word except Sam, who was wondering if he just talked to Matt a bit more, maybe this wouldn't have had to happen. Naruto tells him that kid had a crap childhood. By doing what they had to do, they basically asked Matt to be a murderer, beating him every day, and Alice standing there. Sam stays quiet, but he actually agrees, thinking about their own childhood. Considering the circumstances, they turned out okay. After packing everything, After packing everything they own, Dean makes a sly remark about Sam, saying that there's somewhere there's somewhere we can go to help control your premonitions. When asked where, he simply says, Vegas, with a smile. Naruto chuckles in the back as they get in the car, heading to the next town. I hope you all enjoyed this part and the series as a whole. I know it's been a while. It's been about 80 days. I looked at it today. It's been 80 days. But yeah, if you did like the video, why not subscribe if you haven't already, and like the video because it helps a lot and makes me happy. But with all that said, I guess I'll see you later. Bye.